matters, and the court needs to be armed with all the information to which it can, so as it can make an honest assessment as to the best possible result for Nikki.
Good.
Okay?
Yep.
You may be cross-examined. You won't be cross-examined to...
That's a bonus.
All right, thanks, Boy.
Nikki's boyfriend Dave has been sober 5 months and he's desperate for her to stay out of prison.
Just want everything to go well today. She deserves a chance. She's been through a great lot, but she's improving every day.
Third Division of Broadmeadows Magistrates Court is now resumed. Please be seated. Recalling the matter of Nicole Stevens to Court 3.
Ms Stevens pleads guilty to the charges as listed.
There's one indictable matter. She consents to jurisdiction.
Consents to jurisdiction, Your Honour. Fully understands her rights in regards to that matter.
Yes, thank you. I'll hear a summary then.
Thursday the 24th of April 2008 at approximately 12:47pm, the defendant was...
Nikki is no stranger to the courts. She already has 8 drink driving convictions.
And the sample of breath provided indicated a reading of 0.149%. On Wednesday...
This time her charges are for drink driving and criminal damage.
She caused damage to one of the consultation room doors by kicking it, creating a medium-sized hole in the bottom of the door. There's a summary in relation to the matter, Your Honour.
Yes, thank you, Mr Monagle.
I think it needs to be looked at in light of her prior history, these matters, Your Honour. She's accompanied in court today, Your Honour, by Mr Brian Cox. Your Honour, I am going to call Mr Cox in a minute to give evidence. Your Honour, where I may be leading in the long term of this matter is that the possibility, Your Honour, she'd be sentenced to some facility, Your Honour, that will facilitate rehabilitation with alcoholism, rather than necessarily being sentenced to a period of term of incarceration. If it pleases the court, Your Honour, I'll call Mr Brian Cox to give evidence.
Thank you. Please raise the Bible. I swear.
I swear,
By Almighty God.
by Almighty God,
That the evidence I shall give.
that the evidence I shall give
Shall be the truth.
It's all down to Coxie. His testimony is all that stands between Nikki and a prison cell.
I am the founder and coordinator of the Melbourne Alcohol Recovery Centre. I run a crisis house for people like Nicole that relapse, and I attend to them and try and break them out of that relapse again and that sort of thing, yeah.
Is Ms Stevens currently resident in one of those houses?
She is, yes.
The period of time to which you know Ms Stevens, has there been a decline in Ms Stevens over that period of time?
Definitely, yes, there has. She's got to do something drastic, because otherwise death will certainly be the next step for her, Yeah, she's a chronic alcoholic, needs a lot of support and help. Nikki has had several attempts at staying sober. She's had periods of sobriety.
Are you, as your organisation, willing to have Ms Stevens reside at 196 Tyler Street whilst the court process is taking place in this matter?
Certainly, yes. Look, she treats me like a father, and I certainly am there for her and help her, and prison's not the place for her. She needs a lot of help.
No further questions.
Yes, does the prosecution have any questions of Mr Cox? No, thank you, Ms Cox. You can take a seat.
Thank you very much, Your Honour. Thank you.
The magistrate takes a recess to consider Nikki's fate.
Magistrates' Court is now temporarily adjourned.
Has Coxie done enough to keep her out of prison? Nikki has pleaded guilty to charges of drink driving and criminal damage. She's breached her bail and the magistrate could send her to jail to await sentencing.
Third Division of Broadmeadows Magistrates Court is now resumed. Please be seated.
Coxie pleaded to the courts that the best place for her is in his care.
The court file indicates that Ms Stevens has been on the credit bail program. Was that correct? During some progress she'd been on credit bail?
She got through the program, Your Honour, However, you didn't attend the appointment for his house.
Look, I'm satisfied Ms Stevens is in the requisite, an appropriate place for her to be at the moment.
Yes.
It's clearly important, given the matters that Ms Stevens has pleaded guilty to, that there be no driving, obviously.
Oh, obviously, right.
I don't know if her bail had her residing with Mr Cox, though, and it seems that that's an important condition of the bail. Is Mr Cox prepared to have it that she also abide by his lawful directions?
Can I first consult with Mr Cox?
Yes.
Coxie's being asked to take legal responsibility for Nikki. If she misbehaves, he has to report it or find himself charged with contempt.
Yeah, that's fine, yeah.
You happy with that, Nikki?
Yeah, with it. Yep.
Mr Cox's lawful directions be deemed appropriate.
I'll make it by Mr Cox's lawful directions or his nominee. Ms Stevens, if you could stand, please. I'm going to remand these matters. You understand what's to happen in the meantime?
I do, Your Honour.
It's very important that you attend for that neuropsychological assessment, because that's a factor I will take into account in terms of sentencing. Clearly, I believe the best place for you is where you are at the moment. Obviously, that's important for your recovery as well. If you recover and remain recovered, then obviously the chances of you reoffending are reduced and the community is protected. Condition of your bail is also obviously that you abide by the lawful directions of Mr Cox or his nominee and the residential address where you are at present.
Thanks, mate. Thanks. There you are.
Thanks, sir.
She's returning to the rehab house to continue the slow process of recovery and await her sentencing.
I've got me covered.
Across town, and in just 4 days, Kiwi Dave has transformed the new rehab house and it's ready to take in tenants.
All these are full, they just need food in them. They've got crockery, they've got cutlery. Yeah, there's going to be a rice cooker too, because you know what blokes are like cooking rice. You know, there's about a million different ways to cook rice, but everyone involves it getting burnt pots, isn't it?
I'll be the first person in here.
For Scott, the new house can't open soon enough.
I could possibly put a double bed in here. I'll have to speak to Dave about that.
Being away from the stress of the other house, he can concentrate on his recovery.
I've just been in contact with my brother, which is fantastic, you know, and I want him to come up and see the place and just sort of see that I'm kicking on a bit and that, you know what I mean?
I like this room. I like it. I like it because it's simple. Congratulations on
our #1 house.
Scotty. You gonna have a bit of this?
With the opening of this house, Coxie's Melbourne Alcohol Recovery Centre can now help 10 desperate alcoholics without anyone having to live in the garage.
This is a good thing. This is a building thing, not a destroying thing. This is a growing thing. This model will work. We'll get support from other people. Then it might be the first of a few.
You are a darling. You never give up, do you? You're a beautiful girl.
Perhaps this will leave Coxie with some free time to enjoy his sobriety and his relationship with Kath.
She's very lucky to have a young man like me in her life. There's no doubt about that. Aren't you? I'll be 43 next week.
Oh, don't remind me. Oh, yes, I'm reminding you. I'll be 46 next week.
Is that a hint?
Birthday's
What would you like me to buy you? I'll go down to St Vinny de Paul's and see what
I
I
might
can
have a
get.
list.
A list?
A list, yeah.
Well, you'll be getting this from Cindy de Paul's because I'm on the pension.
Yeah, I'll take you out to tea into a symphony. It's alright.
Back in the original rehab house, Nikki is staying sober under the watchful eye of Mick, who's also managing to keep off the grog. Throughout all the drama, the relapses and the chaos, there's one man who never falters.
Brian, I need help, mate.
Coxie was a Skid Row drunk, and now every person he helps pushes him just a little further away from picking up a drink.
I mean, it's drove me mad doing this, you know, it's a bugger of a job. He thinks he's God, you know, he's an ego tripper. Go and put half a dozen drunks in your friggin' house for a week and see how you go. Now, you've been in AA, you was 4 years sober, and you picked up a drink again, mate. So you've gone back to where you started from, but worse. What'd you break?
My coccyx bone.
Is that the elbow joint?
No, you bumbo.
Oh, mate, I'm so...
He's living proof that his formula of hard work and AA can work, one day at a time.
But I tell you what, I'm flat out, mate. There's only me. There's only one Cox, thank God. There's people worse off than us. Look at these refugees on a boat trying to get out of their country because they're frightened to die, you know? I mean, there's a lot of tragic things in the world going on. I'm an alcoholic. All I've got to do is get a solution to the problem, and I've got it.
Nobody knows the trouble that I'm in. Nobody knows, nobody knows the trouble that I'm in. I've been down and I got up again. Seems to me it happens every time. Nobody knows the trouble that I'm in. Nobody knows, nobody knows the trouble that I'm in. Nobody knows, nobody knows the trouble that I'm in. Nobody knows, nobody knows the trouble that I'm in. Ah, no one knows.
If you're concerned about your drinking, you can talk to someone 24 hours a day at Alcoholics Anonymous on 02 9799 1199 or at the Australian Drug Foundation on 1300 85 85 84.